to the pumpkin patch in Pumpktoberfest, where we are trying all the pumpkin beers of the season to determine the very best one. And what are you?
I'm Power Girl.
No!
No, I'm gonna knock you out of this world.
No!
Yeah.
No! And who are you?
Well, based on my costume,
No.
clearly I'm...
Who are you?
Seriously? I lived with you. I gave a really great speech at your wedding. I was just holding your baby.
Oh.
Hi!
Hi.
Oh, you're dressed as the Invisible Man. I love it.
No, do you not... I've got the camel pants. I've got the pop culture t-shirt. I've got the situation happening on my face, which is neither beardly nor clean-shaven. And, smell-o-vision. It's just like inky pages and body odor. I'm a comic book guy.
You are a comic book guy.
Well, obviously the only solution is in this obvious show of class. We need to drink some beer out of cans. So,
Cans.
we have Pumpkin Works, Autumn Works, Hudson Valley, Fall Horning.
Horning, you say?
Stop that. And PumpCAN.
Wow, watch you sit.
PumpCAN.
What you said.
Cans.
Let's-
Like my cans.
Like Nella's cans.
Let's get crunk.
Pumpkin Patch Show.
Anderson Valley Fall Hornin Pumpkin Ale. This is ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. It's got a bear with antlers on the can. So beer in cans.
Yeah, I mean, won't it have a metallic taste to it, or?
Au contraire, it won't, because modern cans are coated with this thing called BPA, which keeps the metal from infecting the beer. It's
Good old
fantastic.
say.
I know BPA's in a lot of plastics, and everyone's talking about BPA-free plastics because BPA causes cancer.
Well, the science right now says it totally doesn't. So, who knows what the long-term effects will be, but right now, there is no cancer up in that can.
I trust science.
No cancer in
No
the can.
cancer in the can. So the reason you are finding a lot more craft beers in cans
All
is,
three of them. I
Yeah.
mean, for pumpkin.
but also in a lot of other smaller breweries, is that overall the production of cans over bottles is much cheaper. The initial startup cost is much more, but the actual production cost down the line, it's much less because you can ship more of those in a smaller amount of area. The metal itself keeps the beer from skunking, which might tend to do to beers, and also they stack easier, they get colder faster, and they're also easier to recycle. And also, if you drop it, it doesn't shatter into a million pieces and then possibly cut up a lot of people.
But it just goes psh when you open it.
Well, you just don't drop it on the floor.
Well, I gave it the tap.
You just gotta tap it.
That's the key. You just gotta tap that.
It's not the key at all.
You know
You-
all about
you-
tapping cans, don't you?
Or you could just
That's
let
really
it...
the only thing I get to tap.
Well, you tap that can, but as it works, you should just put it to the side and let it sit for a bit, and then it'll be fine. Unlike a bottle, which will break. And then it's tragic, and everyone cries.
And look at all of our pumpkin beers in dark bottles. Not even clear bottles or green bottles. Dark brown bottles, which is a pumpkin ale thing. Maybe just because it looks more folly, but you know.
Well, and also it
dark-
protects the beer much more.
Yeah, but there's plenty of beers that come in clear or green bottles that don't need that kind of protection, apparently. But pumpkin beers do.
Ready for the best sound in the world?
Wow, that's like brown.
Yeah, it's nice and dark.
Look at that color.
Wow, it's nice and
I know.
nice
That
and
is
dark.
a deep amber,
A nice nutty brown.
brown color.
I feel like that's got... What is that?
It's like a nutty smell.
It is...
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
what
some
kind,
there's some
it's
of the
like
spice in there too, though. I feel
walnutty
like.
thing going on.
It's kind of got like a forest nut smell.
For our antlered bear.
Yeah.
This is a solar-powered brewery, by the way. So, you know, support solar power.
Wow.
Yeah, the power of the yellow sun, that'll help you out.
I'm getting that nut flavor.
Yeah, it's got a nice toasty flavor to it. I don't know about pumpkin and spices, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice beer.
Yeah.
This is a good, smooth beer, but pumpkin spice, I'm not sure.
No, I'm getting it like once I've swallowed and it's
Subtle.
she said.
We're just keeping it classy today with our cans.
I don't know why that happened.
You just bring the class level down wherever you go.
Yeah, it's the pants.
Who are you again?
So the taste in the back of the throat is very. I get the spice and I get some of the pumpkin, but that initial browner nut flavor is definitely predominant.
It's a smooth. It's not creamy like the River Horse was, which was definitely a mouthfeel thing, but it's got that smooth kind of creaminess to the
Well,
flavor taste.
It ends, I think, very creamy and smooth, but it's got a little bit of bite and hoppiness to it, like right when it first hits the mouth, which is interesting.
That's funny because I'm finding the tang at the back of my mouth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not until it finishes. I mean, it finishes for me smooth,
Yeah.
but when I first drink it, I get a little bit of the.
No, maybe that's just a mileage may vary of individual mouths.
No, I just decided that I was going to disagree with whatever you guys said. So what do you think? I think the opposite.
So on the scale of squashed pie,
It's not really anything. It's got some on the
Pecan
nose,
pie?
but that's about it.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
I don't really taste any squash. I mean, I'm sure pumpkin's there. It's got a nice whole flavor to it that I'm sure the pumpkin's contributing to, because that's what I like about pumpkin beers, but
Nuts. Nuts.
in cans.
But drinkable. Drinkable nuts.
I'm just going to leave it there.
Pumpkin patch show.
Wachusett Pumpkin Ale. Ale brewed with pumpkin and spices from Westminster, Massachusetts, which I guess is Wachusett. The name we can't pronounce.
Massachusetts?
It says enjoy with friends, so I'm glad you're here.
Oh, well. I'm so glad my costuming choices haven't gotten in the way of our friendship.
Are you glad that I'm here?
Yes! I'm glad you're here, Guy.
God, this
You-
so convincing. Oh man, it's a lot of.
Ooh.
That's a lot strawier than the other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, but also.
So I found this beer in Salem, Massachusetts, where I went for my anniversary, because you know. And
I feel like lightning should strike right there and thunder.
What, her anniversary?
Yeah.
And I stopped by the store called Pamplemousse, which had a bunch of stuff. And they had 6 pumpkin beers, which we did not have yet. So I had to bring them back. And they sold them singly, too, which is great because all these 6-packs are really
I know.
high.
Well, you know.
But the Massachusetts beer, I don't know that we would have been able to find this in New York. So it was nice
No.
that I was in Massachusetts.
So yay,
this
regional
weekend.
beers that you can only find in that area. Sorry,
It
everyone.
smells a little bit like a sour almost.
It does
I'm
have a
not
little bit
really-
of a sour odor off of it.
Very lightly. I'm not smelling much else, though.
Yeah. Well, bottoms up.
Yeah. Whoa.
I think I
It-
found
it-
something on the pumpkin on the squash side.
Yeah, at the finish for sure.
Yeah, it definitely hits you afterwards. At first, I'm tasting nothing except, cold liquid, but then sort of as it simmers back.
Yeah.
For sure.
I found my squash.
And
Well,
this
then
actually
you better squash it.
is an ale brewed with pumpkin and spices, so it's not just a pumpkin beer. It's a pumpkin spice beer, but you
But
got your
it ends
squash.
up on a very squash note.
It's called PumpCAN.
Because it's in a can. That's precious.
It's definitely gourdy though. There's a gourd
It's
to
just
it.
light and very drinkable. And it has that pumpkin.
It's 5.2% ABV, so you could drink a can of this.
Yeah. It's drinkable, but it's not sweet at all, which I kind
Yeah.
of like. There's no sweetness on it.
It's definitely has that beer flavor with like that pumpkin
Wannabe
over
lager.
it. Yeah, kind of.
But it's not bitter. It's not over hoppy. It's got a nice light texture to it.
Yeah, very drinkable.
This doesn't really fit on my pumpkin pie quest scale, but I would drink this just as a
I bet
beer.
this is a 1 on squash. I feel like you could drink this out of season and be like, oh, that's an interesting beer that seems to have something going on with it. I don't know what that flavor is, though. And then you'd be like, ah, it's good, sir. That is pumpkin. And you'd be like, the deuce? You're right.
You would you?
Yes, I would.
That's it. I'm glad that you did that thing where like you had a conversation in the mirror, like preparing for this very moment. Why, yes, it is pumpkin. The deuce, you say? Like
Deuce, you do say.
how many? Yeah, the deucey.
All I'm saying
Like
is we
that
should
guy
bring
from-
the deuce back.
I think
we
you
should
have.
really bring the deuce back.
I think you have.
Well, I'm glad. You're welcome, internet. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
I'm flushing that deuce. Sorry.
But be warned that this is on the lighter, like, some people would even probably think this is watery. I disagree. It's definitely on the very light drinkable side of beers. has a nice finish, but definitely not what you'd probably be looking for if you're looking for a really strong seasonal pumpkin beer.
Yeah,
So
this
in-
thing does not drink like a meal.
No, yeah.
When you say drinkable, you mean chuggable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, you know. Am I right? Go, 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 go!
Another
Pumpkin Patch Show.
Beer Works Pumpkin Works. It's an ale brewed with pumpkin and spices, and this is another one that I picked up in Salem at the Salem's location of Beer Works Brewery, which was a very pleasant find when I was strolling the streets of Salem. Oh look, a brewery! We're eating lunch there.
As one should. I mean, no one wants to eat it, you know, where people were hung, or at that house with 7 gables, or...
I do.
That's for breakfast.
All of this.
Oh, wow.
No, it's more of a brunch to me.
That's because you don't get up in the morning. Do any of us? Beer brewed at Beer Works since 1992, this ale leads with a tantalizing aroma of cinnamon and nutmeg. Made with real pumpkin, this beer has a balance of malt and spice that creates a finish reminiscent of pumpkin pie. So I have high hopes. A tasty New England autumn tradition.
Yay.
It's Autumn Works from Beer Works, Pumpkin Works. I actually got 2 beers at Pumpkin Works, one of which is a stout, which we will try in the future.
All right, let's see if this pumpkin works.
Ooh, it's a nice orange color. It's
Yeah.
lighter than the other 2 cans we tried.
It's definitely got some pine
Wow.
on the nose. That's some serious pie nose.
That's like some, like, pumpkin candy.
Yeah, it is spicy.
And the cinnamon's definitely there. That's a lot of cinnamon.
It almost has kind of a... I know this sounds weird, but like an Asian food flavor.
Yeah, like peanuts. I'm tasting peanuts.
This is like a Thai dish. This is like
I am
some-
super... No, guys, I'm a little freaking out. I am super seriously tasting peanuts in this.
But that's not bad.
Like, I just had some pad thai in a glass.
I can, yeah, a little bit. What I get most of all is the cinnamon. I can really taste the cinnamon on there.
I mean, they said reminiscent of pumpkin pie. Maybe they meant pad thai.
I mean, I like a pad thai.
It's almost a little...
It's got the creamy.
Like a little medicine-y. Like a creamy kind of...
I don't like it. No. No, sir, I do not like
This
it.
came very highly recommended, and I am not loving it. I don't dislike it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it.
I taste no pumpkin. I taste very little spice. I mostly taste peanut and beer.
Kind of a soury, tangy roof of the mouth feel.
Nope.
It's definitely not ranking high on the pie scale, which I thought it would because the label said it would, and I always believe what the labels say.
I mean, the smell is suggestive of, of those flavors.
The nose is good, but then the mouth is not really having anything going on. There's a lot of cinnamon, and there's like, I mean, I don't taste peanut. I don't know what it is. I don't know what, it's almost like, you know, like when you eat a peanut, there's like that feeling in your mouth. Like not quite a film, but kind of almost filmy. This has got that. Or like when you eat horrible McDonald's for breakfast. Which of course I never do.
It's not that bad. It's okay. It's not a bad beer. I mean, none of these have been bad beers, but some I've
I don't know.
Everything in my
I
body-
feel like I might. I mean, like, there's no such thing as actually just leaving something on the bar. Like, I'd finish it, but I would.
No,
I
like
would finish it
here's where I am
begrudgingly.
right now. I am not enjoying this at all. Every bone in my body says, just kill it. Just drink it. It's okay.
It's canned beer. You can chug it.
Good grief.
I would not buy this again.
No.
I'm glad I tried it. It's weird. It's okay.
Not loving it.
But which did you love? Of the 3.
I think I'd have to go, between the 3, go with the fall horning, to be honest. Although, no, the other one had such good squash going on. Like,
I feel like the PumpCAN was more interesting than the fall horning.
I agree. I think the pumpkin, because it had so much of that squashy pumpkin quality to
Yeah.
it without
Yeah.
any of the sweetness, I think made it distinct.
And you know me, I'm all about the pie, but between the 3 of them, even without the pie factor going on, PumpCAN was the strongest of the
yeah.
beers.
I liked the nuttiness of the fall horning.
Fall
which,
horning was good. I'd buy it
Yeah.
again.
Which I wasn't expecting, and that's why I would definitely drink that one again. But just because that it had the squash I've been looking for, and the only other one I really feel really had that was Smunny Nose. Yeah, that Massachusetts one was quite good.
So I'd buy Fallhorn again. I'd buy Wachusett again. I would not buy Pumpkin Works again.
Sorry, I'm sure the rest of your stuff is really great.
I mean, we'll try the other beer works, the pumpkin stout, another time, but that one comes in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's a can.
You're bad and you should feel bad.
Just leave your cans at home.
So, okay. Next time when you and I get together and drink more beer, like we do.
When do I come again?
So, you have to dress better. It's Halloween is coming up. At least get into the spirit of the season.
Okay.
Halloween is coming up.
All right, how about this? I will dress in something that is completely indicative of Skulls and Death.
I love Skulls and Death.
I know! You're gonna love this one, I promise. I promise next time you're gonna love my outfit.
All right.
Who are you?
I'm leaving.
Bye!
See you never.
I'm glad we two had beer together today.
I know. Who was that guy again?
Pumpkins, 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 pumpkins.
Stop trying to make Deuce happen, Nella. It's never going to happen. Again.
Oh, well, I just made it happen, so what?
This is such a serious beer thing that's happening. Serious beer tasting.
Can we have another?
Deep conversations.
I like it.